Welcome to my channel. Actually, this is my channel and my husband's. So we do all kinds of stuff. This was the project that my friend gave me. I had to actually strip it back to original, and then this was after I stained it. And actually, it didn't come out as what I wanted, so I had to restain it. And well, it was just for my friends. So the first coat of epoxy resin, you don't have to worry about um, for it to be perfect. So mine came out somewhat okay. It's for the like a big, as you see now, for office. And my friend, he installed it. These were two pieces together. He had to put some shims in, and then I came in and basically used small epoxy and epoxy in between. So here this is right there, quick. Yeah, so you have to apply it, the best you can, so to avoid all those holes that will, you know, be really a nuisance. After you pour, it will drip in between and it will screw it all up. So this is what you did. You have to protect it, and then you have to go again and sand it well with the 80. I think I used 80, the sandpaper here. Well, it looks good in video, and you're wondering like, oh, why would you do that? Well, you gotta do this. Um, well, as you see, I'm waiting for the epoxy in between where the two pieces were joined. I'm letting it to dry while I'm working on the sides, trying to sand as much surface as possible, because you need, for your next application of epoxy resin, you have to make sure that it's gonna hold, it's gonna stick to the surface, that previous epoxy. As you see, I did 2 coats when at home, in preparation for this. So this is 220 I used for this crevices, the sides. My sander obviously is not going to work well there, but keep in mind you have to make sure you have a rough surface, not that rough, but 220 is good enough. So for the next layer layer of your epoxy resin to get a hold of, and make sure for, and probably to prevent from you know cracking, maybe, I don't know. Well, none of my stuff that I did cracked. So this was 120 I used. I was playing with it, and as you see, this is rough here because, as I mentioned before, my first layers at home, what I did in prep it for actual finishing work, I did screw up because I was playing with my brush for too long, and well, when it was already dry, so that's the result. So when you are pouring the final finish resin, you can't be playing around too much. I mean, it's crucial to pour it and then leave it be. But I'll show you. So this was me playing around with the different sandpaper. This is actually looks horrible right now. Like, oh, it's so perfect. Why would you ruin it? No, it's not perfect because it has like a little screw ups in here, and the camera is not going to show you all that. Although a friend of mine, he loved it. He said, "Wow, that looks good." And I don't know, to me, it didn't really. Well, that I'm waiting here for the middle part of the where the joint was. I'm trying to wait for it to dry in between where I applied epoxy resin, that quick set. Yeah, so here I'm working really hard and making it all look like hell again. Rough up with 220 though, 220 the sandpaper. So here I see I'm being careful not to sand the part where it's still drying in between, but I'm that kind of person. I can't just sit still, so I have to do that. And here I used sanitizing wipes. You can use it for this purpose, to clean it up in preparation for your final pour. Here I'm still playing around because I'm not really ready to pour yet. I'm still waiting for that middle part to dry, but it looks cool. Look like magic. You just wipe it and it becomes all nice again. Although it's not really nice. The camera shows magic in reality, and it wasn't really nice, but it does look pretty perfect. Kind of, yeah. Well, anyways, while I'm playing here, the epoxy in the middle is drying, and it takes about, it took about half an hour probably. It's a quick set, and well, you have to have that original stain that you used for your first when you first stained the pieces of wood. So when you sand, you might sand it to the bare wood, so make sure you have your stain, and just restain it again. You can just restain it instead of using, like I did, the wipes, those disinfectant wipes. You can use the stain, just stain again. That's all. Just make sure you wipe it clean after you're done staining it. And there in the middle, as you see, I'm trying to now sand it. All these little imperfections, and make sure that you stain epoxy everywhere, so it gives that rough surface for the next layer to catch on, and so it's all good. And then you can apply, after you do this, you apply stain of the same color, and it will look perfect. Or you can just go totally nuts and paint a different color, like blue maybe, whatever, I don't know. Or mix epoxy and put some color to it, the one that you like, and just go ahead, pour right in that hole, and you can wait for it to dry, and then you do what I just did, clean it all up and apply the final coat. So I don't think I took a video when I poured it, but it's so simple. You just mix it for like about 7 minutes. Well, the temperature in that room was very good for that to be mixed for as long as I did. It was like 8 minutes. Well, this here, it's the trick, to keep it all in. You actually have to secure your border so it doesn't drip right away when you pour it. You have to make sure that all what you just pour doesn't go over the edges, and you don't lose any of the resin right away. You will get rid of this tape, yes. Maybe like you have to wait, I don't know, 10-15 minutes after you pour, and make sure that it's all spread evenly everywhere, and then you get rid of the tape. So when you tape, you can use just painter's tape. Well, that's recommended. Don't use gorilla tape. I'm not sure how well it's gonna, rip, come off. I don't know, maybe it's gonna rip something. But I wanted to keep in mind that I needed to leave all this paper to protect, while it's still dripping. So my next step would be, after I pour, to get rid of the tape that holds the resin on top of the wood. So and so then I let it drip. So make sure it doesn't drip on the floor. You can get rid of it if accidents happen, right? But still, protect it. And then make sure you walk, not on the top of it. So I did secure everything underneath the counter, and then you do it the best you can so it doesn't drip. You see over here, I know it's gonna drip behind, so I went underneath the countertop, and I secured everything, on that floor over there, in case if it does drip, it doesn't drip on any wires. And you see that little piece, I wrapped it in plastic, and I just left it because, when they come back, I don't know how important that thing is. I think it's like a credit card reader or something, so I didn't want to mess around with that. So as you see, I'm kind of ready for the final pour, and that's voila, that's what happens. So as I said, you just wait, you spread it, and then you wait a couple minutes, and just pull that tape that was holding con- um, all that resin on top. And now take your heat gun. I had a heat gun. A blowtorch would be nice, but that's what I had. Make sure your wire. I had to hold it so it doesn't, fall and screw up your stuff, your resin. And well, that's what it looks like. I was pretty happy about it. The drips there on the bottom. You have to kind of use the brush. I use the foam brush to make sure all the sides, they are not dry but wet with the epoxy. Epoxy will keep running down, and if you have like a dry spot, it will avoid that spot, and it will create not good looking piece like this is after it was done, and I let it keep dripping, so it keeps dripping. And that's it. Here's the guy. He was just carrying my stuff, but oh well, that's me. That's with the brush. I was working with the brush, pretty happy about it. And then voila, that's what happens when you keep playing with the stuff at home, and then you're being called to do a serious job. So here it is. People were happy about it. Oh, this was before. This picture is before. I don't know why I had it. So this is after. This is how it looks. Well, like and subscribe. Thank you.